Let me take it down. But they don't have
Steal it now. You haven't been here in a while.
I get the first and the third.
What?
I get the first and the third.
Oh, you switch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What magical thing was just read it. Yeah, just revisions are still.
I call the meeting order. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Report of any executive sessions? Public comment?
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. First off, since I didn't actually hear you last week, Larry called me a liar. I'd like an apology for that, as the windows are being scrapped at STS and being replaced. But I don't appreciate being called a liar. It's much like Boots calling me a clown, but at least he apologized. So I'll wait for that at the end. Speaking of liars, Boots, about the farmlands, he increased the farmland money, said no county funds were used. House Republican determined that was a lie. He lied about that several times. No county funds were used, and he also lied in your ethics forms. Get ready to buckle down for that. That's going to be another complaint on you. Tax claim office, possibly a sunshine law violation there, meeting behind closed doors. It's not on the par report. Some of the salary board members were there. Tons of extra cash being promised to people, backdoor deals. Begging people to come back. Places in shambles. Why not bring the two women back? Friday, you guys hit 900 days for the longest unpaid, unfair, unjustified suspension in the history of the United States. Bring the women back. The office needs it. Parcel locator has been down for at least 4 weeks. There's been issues with it for over 3 months. 4 different departments have reached out to me, either through text or through my Facebook page. It's crucial to do their jobs. They can't get a response from Ms. Smith. No help, no response. 2 people from the public reached out to me. They can't do their research. Falls on deaf ears like everything else in this county. Several magistrate offices, I understand, have those air purifiers that he's paid ridiculous amounts of money for during COVID, and they need to be repaired and fixed. And they've been denied. It's like a $90 part, $100 part, and they're being denied. They noticed the difference in them, and I guess when there's another COVID outbreak, then we'll complain about that. Lisa Stevens, no investigation, no police incident, no attorney general. I'm hoping Mr. Opaque does turn it over to the AG before the statute of limitations are up. It was a criminal offense multiple times. It's admitted. It's in depositions. There shouldn't be much more needed to file than that. Speaking of lawsuits, it's the month of March in Schuylkill County, which means a new lawsuit for the county. So this here, 30 seconds left. This here is just filed. Hot off the press this morning at 1 a.m. I got the alert from Pacer. You guys might not even know. You guys might not even see it. Dave, I don't even know if you did. 48-page lawsuit against Schuylkill County, Ken Hatter, and Heidi Zula. Another discrimination, sexual harassment, retaliation lawsuit. 48 pages filed against the county. It's a disgrace. He needs to go. I told you that before. I'll take that job whenever you're ready to give it to me. But I'd like an investigation done on him like he's did on the women. There are 900 days, unpaid. When does his unpaid suspension start now? It's black and white and blatant. Thank you.
Good job.
Any other public comment?
Somebody go.
Georgetown College, Palo Alto. Just wanted to be up here again for the senior citizens and the veterans. And we've heard and seen what politicians are fighting about, and they're doing nothing for senior citizens. I'm tired of this nonsense. It's ridiculous. I know what they're going to tell me. It's they only could do so much, but I hear that from all politicians. Well, it's not our job. Maybe you could look over here or look over there or look up, start looking at yourselves in the mirror. Get a backbone and start speaking up. If you see a wrongdoing, I don't care if you have any policies with it, step up and talk to a senator, talk to a congressman, talk to them. I'm tired of talking to them. It's one person. Well, you're the only one that brings this up. I'm telling you, there's thousands and thousands of people out there in Pennsylvania alone, not just the United States, Pennsylvania alone, that are hurting. They're losing their homes right and left, have to put up with nonsense like they do in the Western counties, with bringing junk from other states into our county. Why? Because we get a little money. We get a little money. And where does that money go? Let's pay some of the taxes down. Let's not put it in our pockets. I'm tired of this nonsense. And if you didn't believe about 10 cities, I hope you looked at the Popular Republican. And that word, they're vagabonds. That's what they're going to start calling people that lose their homes. It's just not these people. It's just not the ones that are criminally doing something wrong. It's all people. Go over here to Palo Alto. You'll see a tent city going up once in a while. You'll see them. Take a walk on those railroad tracks. And I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. United States of America, come on, let's wake up. Let's tell these politicians what they're doing or what they're not doing wrong. It's ridiculous. I don't know what I have to do. What do I have to do? I try not raise my voice, but if you don't raise your voice, they don't hear you.
Right.
They don't hear you. It's like they're deaf. I'm telling you, there's things that have to be done in this county that are wrong. They should be corrected. Every day, people are suffering, and nothing is done. That's the United States way. Let's take care of these criminals coming from Mexico that kill people. And give them the money to live in New York City and all these hotels and not help people around here. It's just ridiculous.
Alrighty then. My name is Laura Krasnowski. I live in the People's Republic of Pennsylvania. If George wants to help the people who are losing their homes and veterans, we would do well to have them load the app on their telephone that the United States government is paying for to put into other countries so that they can load planes up and fly them to American cities. That way they will get a card for $1,500. They will be put up in hotels and they will be taken care of. I'm here today because I'm very concerned about the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture's attack on Amos Miller, who is an Amish farmer who runs an association in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where a lot of Amish farmers produce organic food and raw milk. And basically what appears to be happening is that the Department of Agriculture intends to go after anyone who is not compliant, who has an association where they're legally allowed to do business. Amos has only had, he's got, I believe, 4,000 customers across the United States. And as I recall, about a year and a half ago, there was a move underfoot to require or to request people register their gardens. This is a very dangerous thing because what happens is the government does things incrementally. We start out by saying, well, you know what, you just have to do this. And we saw this happening in other places in Pennsylvania where if you just register your chickens and then a month later, the chickens had to be gotten rid of because we don't want you to have them. And so it was a ploy to find out where the chickens were. Even though you have under the Constitution an certain unalienable rights where you have the right to feed yourself. You have the right to grow strawberries. But what is going on right now appears to be the removing of private farms and private ownership in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I would strongly encourage people to follow this case. I'm happy to say that there are attorneys coming in from other states because it's kind of recognized that Pennsylvania has an unusual judicial system where the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has basically determined that if we are not lawyers and you can't afford a lawyer, you will be held to the practice of law as if you passed the bar exam. And even though Rule 128 or 130 something or other says that the Supreme Court doesn't intend an absurd end, I would regard that to be an absurd end because you're basically guaranteed to be railroaded if you cannot afford a lawyer. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Melinda Dibert, North Manheim Township. I apologize if my volume is sometimes increased, but I hear people complain all the time, we can't hear public comment. So that's why I raised my voice. I promise, Larry, I'm not yelling at you. And again, anyone who shows up at these public meetings to speak, we are only trying to help. Whether it's to point out an issue, protect the interest of the county taxpayers, or to seek assistance for issues affecting public health and safety. We are not the troublemakers. We are the truth seekers. All right, let's talk about the tax claim office. That sinking ship needs all hands on deck. When employees have to spend hours redoing work that has already been done because the original work has been lost under a mountain of paperwork. That is unacceptable. Employees have been leaving that office left and right. Why? Why? What sort of feedback, Tony, are we getting in those exit interviews? I would be most interested in hearing what those employees who are either transferring to another office or they're leaving county employment altogether. What are they saying about what's going on in that office? There are two highly qualified, experienced, and professional employees who continue to serve the world's longest suspension. Again, unfair, illegal, retaliatory suspension. They have a clean work history according to the State Attorney General's office and a UC judge. Eckert Siemens was retained 2 years and 4 months ago to conduct an external independent investigation. Where's the beef? Where's the report from Eckert Siemens? What kind of law firm is this? Are they still working on it? Has it been issued yet? Is the county asking Eckert Siemens not to actually release that final report? The county has backed themselves into a corner, and you are dragging the county taxpayers along for the ride. No, thank you. Stop the nonsense. Bring those 2 employees back so they can get that office up and running. We still have the DOJ consent decree in place. Why are employees in that office being treated differently? Some employees are rebuffed and ignored, while others are taken behind closed doors. to discuss options. I'm sure the EEOC would love to hear about that. Admit that the entire situation and tax claim was mishandled in 2021. We had several people in their depositions essentially admitting to that. End the suspension and concentrate on getting the revenue back to that office and stop outsourcing to other companies. This entire debacle is costing county taxpayers dearly. Thank you.
Any other public comment? No other public comment? Okay. I just want to address a few things. Jeff, if I called you a liar, I meant to say that's a lie, not that you're a liar. The windows, as far as I know from months when I talked to them last, the actual windows themselves, not the frames, but the windows are being reused and put back in. And that was the last time I talked to them. That was a month ago. So, and I talked to Mark Hoover and I asked him, and he said, as far as he knows, the windows are being reused. So I don't know if they're talking about the window frames or the actual window panes. But in the picture,
They're being rebuilt.
yeah, but the windows themselves are being reused. The glass is all being,
Glass.
yeah, they had to destroy it.
Right.
Most of the frames were destroyed when they took them apart.
They have to rebuild the whole.
And some of the flashing was put in wrong, and they have to redesign the bottom flashing. But the actual windows themselves are being reused, and that's the largest expense of the windows. Each pane is,
$2,000.
yeah, so they're all being reused. The picture you said, when you said about the windows that are stacked against the thing, they are the actual windows themselves. They're being reused. Now, some of the frame needs to be rebuilt.
Right.
But that's true. Okay? So if I called you a liar, I meant to say that was a lie. Okay? As for the bringing of Lisa Stevens, that happened in 2019. There's nothing we can do about it. It was a
Statute of limitations is still in place.
That's up to your, to
Did you
the
turn
district
it over?
attorney.
Did you turn it over to him?
I wasn't here in 2019.
It's brought to your attention now, it's within statute.
Yeah, well,
of limitations.
I don't know if it is, so it's up to Mike to look into it to see. I don't know if it was or wasn't.
Oh, get ready. Get ready.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I don't know if it was or wasn't. You don't have to be combative.
Trying to warn you.
Well, you can only do so much. As for the property taxes that you talked about, I was a proponent for the elimination of property tax from the very first time they ever said it. And I'll advocate for that till the day I die, that property taxes, we need to do something in the state with property taxes. And I know Boots and Commissioner Hessen isn't able to attend today. He feels the same way. There has to be some relief, but that has to come from Harrisburg. We do not have the authority to do anything with it. I wish we could. As for the west end of the county, I just want to give them an update because I see you here, is we are, somebody from the governor's office now is attending the meeting, and we're setting it up with representatives from DEP. I don't know who we have, who is scheduled now. Did we get who we're meeting with yet, Gary?
Yes, I sent you an email yesterday with a couple of dates to go.
Okay.
You have
So,
a date?
we sent some dates. Well, when you get a representative from the governor's office, you gotta try to
Right.
fit in their dates.
Couple dates.
You give them a couple dates and then they pick one, so that's what we're working on. But now we even have somebody from the governor's office coming. Okay, so we're working on it,
Thank you.
okay? So, let's move on with the
How
meeting.
about Mr. Hatter's incident? Is that gonna be an investigation?
Well, okay, first of all, it's a lawsuit, I can't talk about it, and we don't know about it yet. You know, honestly, this is, like, you get the paper, we haven't conserved anything at all, so,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Public Works, Kevin.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here this morning for the approval to advertise for invitation to bid on the Schuylkill County Human Services Building Cleaning Contract. Bids are due in the Controller's Office by 4 p.m. Monday, April 8th, 2024. Bids will be open publicly at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 in the Commissioners' boardroom and awarded at a later date.
Thanks, Kevin. Engineering, real estate, Lisa?
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of Planning and Zoning, approval is requested to appoint the study committee members as listed in the document entitled Planning Team Organization and Responsibilities, Schuylkill County Comprehensive Park Recreation and Open Space Plan. Schuylkill County was awarded $63,000 from DCNR through the Keystone Recreation Park and Conservation Fund to assist in developing a comprehensive park recreation and open space plan. The DCNR grant agreement requires the county to appoint a study committee who will serve as an advisory committee appointed by the Schuylkill County Board of Commissioners, and attached was a list of folks.
Good question, Lisa. How long has it been since that plan was?
I believe we have to update them either every 5 or every 10 years, and we're past due that time period.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tax claim, Gary.
Your approval of the repository sale in parcel number 48-8-139, Big Valley Properties at 504 West Market Street, Monroe City, and that was sold, it was to the borough, and I'm asked for the purpose of demolition.
Okay. Thank you. Dave, Frisa.
I'm Mike Buchanan, filling in for Ward Lipinski today from the prison. Prison is seeking approval of a contract with Smart Communications, a company based out of Seminole, Florida, to provide our inmate telephone service. There is no cost to the prison or county. The telephone service is paid for by the utilization of the inmates, by the calls being made. The term is for 5 years, March 1, 2024, and March 1, 2029.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Scott, 911.
Morning, Scott.
Morning, Commissioner. Next week, looking to request a motion to enter an agreement with Motorola Solutions, Chicago, Illinois, for emergency call works telephone system for on-site remote system support and software. The agreement is for 1 year, January 1, 2024, December 31, 2024, for $62,313.29.
Mental health, Elaine.
Good morning. Requesting for next week's approval for a contract with Amora for $49,500 for the use of 8 boards for each month, the month of March through December. These boards are used for both drug and alcohol and mental health, different monthly initiatives that we are charged with to get information out to the community, as per DDAP and mental health requests. The second one is for drug and alcohol, is the approval for request. I am going to shorten this. We're looking for an approval for our outpatient providers for all their rates to be raised to match the medical assistant rate that was approved as of this January of 2024. So that is for all the services, not just the ones that are listed here. And again, it's just to match the medical assistance rate that medical assistants approved again back in January. The last part of this addendum is to change the language according to DDAP, which is the very last paragraph, which is to make sure that when we are reimbursing our providers, when they are billing us for Subutex, Suboxone, Sublocade, Vivitrol, and Methadone, that we put in the language of actual pharmacy costs net of applicable client fees, discounts, and coupons. And again, that language is directly from DDAP. Thank you.
Elaine, on
Yes.
on the way this morning, I was behind a minibus for STS, but the drug and alcohol wraparound's pretty sharp, all the red and all that, and the numbers they call and asking for help.
We will be rewrapping some of our buses. They're due, they were actually past due, they've been peeling. So we have, no, we have 8 buses that we have to rewrap. 3 for mental health, 3 for suicide prevention, and 2 for drug and alcohol. So that will be coming, the new design should be coming out in the next month.
You look sharp. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grant writer. You're not sure?
No. Ron Zimmerman, I'm here for Cheryl this week. Looking for a modification to the 2022 CDBG program, moving $88,790 from the Schuylkill Haven Housing Rehab line item to the Willow Street Recreation line item. Approval to advertise for a CDBG ADA project at the J.E. Morgan Park in West Penn Township. Bids will be done be a pen bid and must be submitted by 9 a.m. Wednesday, April 10th, at which time they will be open. Approval to advertise for demolition projects in the boroughs of Gerardville, Monroe City, Minersville, and Shenandoah, also Ryan Township and West Monroe Townships. Bids will be due in the Controller's Office on Monday, April 8th, 2024. Bid opening will take place on Wednesday, April 10th, 2024. Approve a contract with Trivet Contracting Company Incorporated in an amount of $36,900 for a CDBG project for the Klein Township ADA project. The lowest bidder, just so that you know, the lowest bidder was determined non-responsive for not including 10% bid surety, missing all the necessary documentation, and including all the fees that were to be added into their bid price. They did not add that in. Trivet was the second lowest bidder and was responsive on all the required documentation. Then I also have approval to enter in cooperation agreements with the following. Borough of Gerardville for demolition projects at 7 to 9 West Ogden Street and 341 West Monroe Avenue. Ryan Township at 7 Manchester Road. Monroe City at 512, 514 West Center Street and 520, 522, and 524 Railroad Street. West Monroe Township at 257 Mount Olive, 411 Mount Olive, 1157 West Lloyd Street, and 4 Newtown Road. Minersville at 2 Sunbury Street and 6 North Delaware Avenue. I just want to note the 6 North Delaware Avenue is using Schuylkill County Land Bank grant funds. We put them both out together because they're right there to try to get a better price. So we're going to work with the Land Bank on that one. Also St. Clair at 26 South Front Street and 146 North Nicholas Street, and Schuylkill Haven at 119 Parkway. Last item, approve a revision to the 2021 CDBG program, moving $8,161.28 in funds from the county demolition line item to the Klein Township ADA line item.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mike, District Attorney's Office.
Morning, Commissioners. Commissioners, I'm asking for approval of a contract between the District Attorney's Office and Shelby Hostetter for her services as a part-time Assistant District Attorney effective March 11th, 2024. Her contractual rate will be $22,000 per year. She will not have any benefits through the District Attorney's Office for that matter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alvin Crosby, Election Bureau.
Morning, Al. Good morning, Commissioners. Commissioners, today I'm here to request the approval of subcontractors for the Election Bureau and approval of the hire of 14 election rovers to start immediately for the purpose of office preparation and logistics and accuracy for the April 23rd, 2024 general primary election at the rate of $12 per hour. Rovers to be paid mileage at the rate of 67 cents per mile to be traveled on election day to assigned polling sites or where needed. They are Mr. Joseph Matz, Ron Coleman, Carol Coney-Sizdek, Paula Warrenkessel, John Handler, John Beers, Tim Wood, Gary Kiefer, Cindy Drazanovich, Daniel Wachter, James Gustis, and Julie Zangari. In addition, we request the approval to hire the following 4 subcontractors as needed, and they are Mr. Delmar Phillips, Carol Coney-Sizdek, Mary Ann Yanchulis, and Paula Warrenkessel for office work. We request the approval to hire 11 drivers to deliver election day supplies and equipment in preparation to the April 23rd, 2024 general primary election, going through the judge of elections. That would be Mr. Stephen Davis at $360, Mr. William Klinger at $310, Mr. James Zerby at $350, Rory Riley at $360, Jay Tobias $320, Linda Handler at $320, Delmar Phillips at $360, Darren Phillips for $310, Gary Kiefer $340, Vivian Rupert $300, and Keith Pogash at $320. We also additionally approved to hire 8 additional election day machine delivery drivers, which actually take the scanners to the precincts themselves in preparation of the April 23rd, 2024 general primary election at a rate of $14 per hour. In addition to requesting approval to hire the following 8 subcontractors as needed. There again, Mr. Delmar Phillips, Andrew Grakowski, Gary Goodman, Jeff Kovach, Keith Pogash, Steve McCord, Darren Phillips, and John Gears. We request the approval to hire 4 resolution board members for election night at the STST building for the general primary election on April 23rd, 2024. There are Ms. Renee Buchanan at $100, Edward Barkett at $100, Michael Dagoda, $100, and Mr. Bob Filone for $100. The Election Bureau also requests additional hire the following 5 subcontractors and additional 3 individuals for the computing board at the rate of $70 per day, beginning 3 days after the election, April 26th at 9 a.m. in the Election Bureau office to begin the 2% computation and canvassing of the returns from the general primary election dated April 23rd. There are Mr. James Klock, Joanne Dower, Marianne Chulis, Sharon Chino, and Ann Karkovich.
Thank you. Office of Senior Services.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Anna.
Approval of an addendum to extend the program funding contract for another 3 fiscal years with Diacon Child, Family, and Community Ministries of Middleton, PA, for the PA Medi, which is Medicare Education and Decision Insight Program, PA Medi Regional Staff, Senior Community Center Services, Health and Wellness Evidence-Based Programming, in-home meals, volunteers serving seniors, COVID vaccine access, and the Senior Community Center non-competitive grant. Contract caps by fiscal year are fiscal year 23-24, $1,717,774. Fiscal year 24-25, $984,099, and the same for 25-26 fiscal year. Fiscal year 23-24 is a $153,568 increase from 22-23 due to the American Rescue Plan funding. Funding for PA Medi regional staff, COVID vaccine access, and the Senior Community Center non-competitive grant are not in the budget caps for fiscal years 24-25 and 25-26. Thank you.
Soldier's Office.
Morning, Commissioners. David Rice. Good morning. We seek on behalf of Parks and Recreation approval to amend the Sweet Arrow Lake rules and regulations to include an additional requirement for a permit for commercial photographers, as well as a release of liability. This requirement will be added to Section 2 of the current rules and regulations.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Finance Officer Paul.
Commissioners, good morning. Listed in your agenda this morning are 3 budget adjustments. The 3 budget adjustments are for the prior year, and they have been posted outside of the boardroom.
Okay, thank you. County Administrator.
Next, we request the Board of Commissioners ratify the designated approved contracts for the month of February 2024. Motion is requested at this time.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
On behalf of Northeast Pennsylvania Alliance, approve to recommend the reappointment of Bob Carr, President and CEO of Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce, to the NEPA Alliance Board of Directors for the term July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. And next, approve to recommend Courtney Flossma, Director of Workforce Development of Manufacturers Association, to the NEPA Alliance Board of Directors for the term July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2026. And lastly, on behalf of the Airport Authority Board, approval to appoint David Frew, Pine Grove, to fill the unexpired term of Noble Pondell Jr. on the Schuylkill County Airport Authority Board. Mr. Frew's term would expire December 31st, 2026.
Thanks, Gary. Human Resources.
Good morning, Commissioners. In 911 communications, we have the appointment of Angela Kane, telecommunicator per diem, rate is $20, and that's effective 3/11/24. Also in 911, the appointment of Rebecca Houts, telecommunicator per diem, the rate is $20, effective 3/11/24. And finally, in 911 communications, the appointment of Michael Zendrowski as a telecommunicator per diem, the rate is $20. The effective date is 3/11/24. Motions are required for those three. Also in the prison, promotion of Corey Bowman to lieutenant position. The rate is $67,837.77. That is effective 3/4/24, coming from correction officer. Motion is required on that one. And prison appointment of Cross Howe as a correction officer part-time. The rate is $23.0730, effective 4/19/24. And in maintenance, the appointment of William Eisenhart as a general laborer. The rate is $13.9413. That's effective 3/18/24. All appointments are pending drug test and physical where appropriate. And all actions involving salary are for positions being created are pending salary board approval.
Okay, can I have a motion for the 911 communications?
For the three.
For the three?
I'll make a motion for all three 911s for the, per diem telecommunicators.
Second, one question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington.
Yes.
And Commissioner Hess.
Can I have a motion for promotion of employment in the prison?
I'll make a motion to promote Corey Bowman to the prison.
Can I second it? On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington.
Yes.
And Commissioner Hess.
Now, do you need a motion for maintenance separate?
I don't think that one would require.
That doesn't require a motion, okay.
Informational items, the recorder of deeds promotion of Deborah Moser to systems management coordinator effective 3/11/24, coming from a clerk typist 2. In domestic relations, the transfer of Denny Sadusky, secretary 1, effective 3/11/24, coming from clerk 3 for voluntary. Also in domestic relations, the appointment of Harley Mills as a secretary 1, effective 3/11/24.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah,
This morning, Commissioners, there was a bid opening. It's in connection with bridge number 123 in Port Clinton. They'll be reviewed and awarded at a future time.
Oh, okay. And then also then there's a correction, the Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 work session meeting is in the evening, beginning at 6 p.m. here in the Commissioners Board Room. The Commissioners meeting on March 13th will be at 10 a.m. here. Okay, now motion to adjourn.
So moved, sir.
Salary Board, report of any executive sessions,
There were no executive sessions.
any comment from the public on the Salary Board?
Yep.
Melinda Diver, North Manheim Township. I will keep beating this dead horse, so to speak. Looking at Lisa Stevens and her criminal conduct as Executive Director of Children and Youth in 2019, whereby she had other employees, subordinates in that office falsify their timesheets.
Is this our board issue or not?
Yes, it is. I'm getting into salary. Yes, it is,
Give us
Boots.
a review, give us a ruling on that.
They were taking on-call duties.
Is this
Her
related,
salary.
is this related to salary?
Yep, I'm bringing her salary up. Yes, I am. Yep. She would work the on-call pay and have those employees pay her cash under the table. Do we understand that this is criminal activity for an executive director of an office? Let's look at the salary that Lisa Stevens was making in 2019. A little over $70,000 is what Lisa Stevens was making in 2019. And through a right to know request, I did get information on her salary for the years since then. 2020, she made $77,447.
Excuse me, 1 second.
20
1 second.
Just 3 minutes.
Just because you do not want to hear. Okay, stop time, Dave. Stop.
I'm asking a specific question, please. All right? I'm asking a specific.
Oh.
I thought the salary board had to do with agenda items on the salary.
It does not have to do with the agenda items, just like with commissioners' public comment. When we stand up for our 3 minutes, it does not have to do with an agenda item. If you want to reintroduce two portions of public comment at the beginning and at the end, then you're more than welcome to do that. But so far, we have not done that.
You changed that when you became a dictator, Boots.
Once again,
So in
I-
2020
Once again, please, I was asking the solicitor's opinion, if you would stop, let him give it.
We should stop. This is not
It
related.
has to do with
Right,
her
No,
salary.
it's not directly related to
Just a minute.
salaries.
It is directly, I'm
Okay.
reading off her
Melinda,
salary.
Stop a second, Boone, stop a second. I want to hear from the solicitor.
It's not directly related to the issues of salary to be brought up today. This is old recitation of
but not
matters
relevant.
that are not relevant to today's
Yes, it
discussion
is.
of the salary board.
Yes, it is.
Not in my opinion.
What's her salary this year?
Okay,
That's correct.
2023, she made $101,251. So over the course of 4 years, she has essentially gotten rewarded over $30,000 for her criminal conduct down in children and youth. So it is relevant. Her salary is
Okay.
absolutely relevant to salary board.
Melinda, don't debate with the attorney. You made your salary comment. Like I said, I guess Mike's gonna look into it or whatever.
Oh,
And then we'll
okay.
see what's
Yeah,
gonna
all
go
right,
forward,
thanks.
okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Empty words, thank you. I got it. Yep.
Okay, can we move on to this? Any other public comment for salary board?
Yeah,
Human
I-
resources,
I- I-
personnel.
I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto, I would just like it on the record, what can and cannot be discussed at a salary board meeting. I've requested this before. I was told it has to be on the agenda, then it's not on the agenda. I talked to the ACLU, talked to the Open Records Office. It does not have to be an agenda-related item, okay? It doesn't matter what you guys have in your policies or what you guys have here. State law says it is anything dealing with salary board, okay? So I'm not gonna debate it. What I would like, as part of the public that is vocal and looks out for the taxpayers, I would like an explanation from the solicitor's office as what is allowed to be spoken about in writing from the county, so that I can take it to these offices and the ACLU and say, this is what they're telling us that we're allowed and not allowed to do. That's all I'm asking for. Thank you.
Dave, can you accommodate that thing? for
Yes.
Mr. Dunkel? Melinda, if it's current, I get it, but we're discussing stuff from 2019, and that
But nobody took
It's
action
still
on that.
current.
Nobody took
The
action on that.
statute of
Okay,
limitations
hold on a
still
second, 'cause it's not a
applies.
debate. Just what I'm gonna say
I'm
to
not
you is,
debating.
okay, views are big about lawsuits on the county, right? So we take action on somebody from 2019 that was already done.
No.
Not done.
No.
It's
What kind of
not
lawsuit?
done.
No, there was
The
nothing about
statute of limitations is 5 years on theft by
On criminal.
deception. Talk to your district attorney
Excuse me,
about that.
Ask the district attorney when he found out about it. After the decision was made to suspend her. That's when he found out about
Nobody turned it over
Why?
to Michael Pake's office.
Inside voices.
Nobody turned it over to him to
Melinda,
investigate.
Inside voices, I can hear you, honestly. I can
Okay,
hear
sorry,
you.
I didn't have the microphone. I didn't know if you could hear me
I
down
can
there.
hear, everybody can hear you, literally.
it. He didn't know about it, Larry.
Well, but I'll talk to Mike after the meeting, because this, like I said, this is all stuff that was prior to even myself and even Bruce.
You still have to perform
Okay,
the
but-
functions of county commissioner.
And I understand that. But what I'm saying to you is, this is prior to.
But you have the duty now, it's in statute of limitations to take care of it.
Talk to Gary Bender. Talk to your county
And I
administrator.
will.
He's the one that
Okay,
gave her
so let's
15
move forward with the
suspension.
meeting in a kind, orderly manner, okay? Human Resources Office.
Yes, Commissioners, in the prison, set salary for Corey Bowman, Lieutenant, rate is $67,837.77, effective 3/4/24. In drug and alcohol, set salary for Brandon Hughes, Case Management Specialist, rate is 22.4416, effective 1/2/24. And the following in 9/11 Communications, create positions 2 telecommunicator per diems at the rate of $20. 3/11/24 is the effective date. Set salary for Angela Kane, telecommunicator per diem, the rate is $20, effective 3/11/24. Set salary for Rebecca House, telecommunicator per diem, the rate is $20, the effective date 3/11/24. Set salary for Michael Zandrowski, telecommunicator per diem, the rate is $20, effective 3/11/24. Wage increase for Chris Fessler, 9/11 Operations Director, the rate is $35.2039, effective 3/11/24. Wage increase for Elise Amato, Training Q&A Supervisor, the rate is $30.3417, effective 3/11/24. Wage increase for Stephen Orovitz, Shift supervisor, the rate is 30.3417, effective 3/11/24. Wage increase for William Lindenmuth, shift supervisor, the rate is 34.1482, effective 3/11/24. Wage increase for Nicholas Majakis, 9/11 GIS mapping coordinator, the rate is 27.1064, effective 3/11/24. In recorder of deeds, set salary for Deborah Moser, systems management coordinator. The rate is 22.6702, effective 3/11/24. In the sheriff's office, eliminate the position of lieutenant, effective 3/4/24, and create the position deputy sheriff, effective 3/4/24.
Can I have a motion for the prison board to set the salary for the prison?
So moved.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, Controller Yekenship.
Yes.
Can I have a motion for drug and alcohol to set the salary?
I'll make that motion.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, Controller Yekenship.
Yes.
Okay, can we take the motions for the 911 communications?
What
as
I'll
one
do is I'll
motion?
make a motion, we create the position and also all the salary increases.
And set salaries.
Yes, that's all.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hess, Controller Yekenship.
Yes.
Motion for the recorders of deeds to set the salary.
Make the motion to set a salary for Deborah Moser.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, Controller Yekenship,
Yes.
and Recorder of Deeds Dudish.
Can I have a motion for the sheriff's office to?
Make a motion to eliminate the position and create a position for the sheriff's office.
Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, Controller Yekenship,
Controller
Yes.
can check.
and Sheriff Rudy.
Is there any new business for the salary board?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Pay attention, Sheriff. Pay attention.